Welcome to day 2 of Digital Inertia, where we are talking all about how to make sure the headway we've made in the digital space in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis does not go away as our physical world begins to reopen. Yesterday, we talked about acknowledging that what we were doing before we were sort of forced into this digital reality wasn't working and is not going to continue to carry us forward as our physical space is reopened. We also talked about the need to adapt our methods as a means to continue to forge ahead in this digital space. Today, we're going to focus specifically on social media, and the reason for that is because as our world has sort of just had all eyes on digital, one of the main ways we've seen that manifest is through an increase in usership on social media. Yesterday, we talked about how in mid-March, there was a 40% user spike on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter aggregately. Again, that's not even considering the TikTok explosion we've seen since this all started. So we're going to focus on social today because that is where people's attentions have turned. So specifically talking about attention, as social media guru Brady Shearer says, attention is the most valuable commodity on social media. Your social media focus immediately is not to grow followers, is not to increase engagement, but the first thing we need to seek to do is to stop the scroll, right? Because think of user habits. Think of how you use social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. More than likely, even as you're encountering this video, you're holding a device, an iPhone, an Android, an iPad in your hand, and you're scrolling. And you're scrolling. And you're scrolling. Your goal as a digital content creator, your goal as you adapt your methods going forward is not to change the strategy, but to change your focus to stopping the scroll as the building block to a larger reach, larger numbers of engagement. That is your goal because attention is what you're fighting for. Attention is what you are trying to grab in a saturated social media world. Okay? So focus on getting people's attention. You're also going to want to look at your analytics and insights on your platforms. Before we can even dive into what adapting our methods may look like for you, your church, your ministry, or your organization, you need to take a look at what you're already doing. Look at your analytics. On Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, dive into those insights, dive into those analytics that are actually already baked in to those platforms. Sure, scheduling tools, management tools are very, very helpful and oftentimes offer you a more robust look at what's going on and what story those analytics are telling. But believe it or not, the analytics that you have access to just on Instagram Insights or Facebook Insights really do a good enough job for you to get that baseline understanding of how your current content strategy is performing and where you might need to make some tweaks. So look at those analytics. The reason you need to look at those analytics is because there's truly not a one-size-fits-all tweak or a one-size-fits-all way to adapt to move forward because it's all going to be custom to your followers, your audience, and what you're trying to achieve. So look at those analytics, determine when is the best time to post, determine what sort of content is performing best for your people, determine what sort of contents are driving up your engagement and what sort of content is sort of plateauing or driving it down. Focusing on those two things, grabbing people's attention and looking at your analytics and insights is what's really going to make sure you are altering your content strategy, adapting those methods in a way that matters to your audience, that matters to move your mission and vision forward. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Digital Inertia. I look forward to seeing you.